Today we're back out on Siesta Key a little over 3 weeks after Hurricane Milton made landfall right here as a Category 3 hurricane with 120-mile-per-hour winds.
And that was only around 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene brought 6-foot storm surges to the island, flooding basically the entire area.
Now, there was a period of time where the island was completely shut down, and then it was only open for residents, business owners, and contractors. But last weekend, the beaches did reopen to the public.
And we have been monitoring the social medias of some of our favorite spots on the island, and we know that at least a few of the businesses have reopened, and they are encouraging visitors to come back out to the island and support them. So we're going to be doing that today. We'll also be showing you some beach conditions, and we're going to start off with a quick stop through the village. What we got?
Well, we got 6 French toast and 6 of the Bavarian cream without the chocolate per your request.
Now, we have visited Meanies in a prior Siesta Key episode, so we already know that these donuts are delicious, and we're really happy to see that they're already back open. Now, I do know that these aren't the most healthy way to start off the day, but I've actually been eating really healthy lately, especially since I recently reached an advanced aged milestone, but these are worth cheating. Time to see if these are as good as we remember. Absolutely.
Now, these are some of the freshest donuts you can get because they make them right when you order them. And these are drenched in syrup and covered in sugar. Now, we are going to be showing you more of the businesses that are open in the village area here, but first we're going to head south to show you the Turtle Beach area and the Crescent Beach area before we head back north. So we did make it all the way down to Turtle Beach, but unfortunately the buildings with the restrooms were completely closed and they didn't have any public porta potties, and we kind of had to use the restroom. There were people there launching paddleboards and also people out on the beach. There are 2 restaurants across the street that have reopened, but unfortunately they didn't open today until 11 and 11:30. So we're coming back to the Crescent Beach area here. We know there's a coffee shop that reopened, so we're gonna grab a coffee, use the restroom, and then hopefully show you Turtle Beach. So this is actually our first time trying the coffee shop in Captain Kurt's Village, because normally we don't come here until the evening and they've already closed for the day, or we've gone through the village and stopped through Mojo Horizon. And honestly, we might stop by there again today, but if you're in the Crescent Beach area, this is a really good option because they do serve kawa coffee and they make their own whipped cream. Skylar went to check out the public parking across the street from Captain Kurt's.
So this is the beach access across the street from Captain Kurt's that we typically use when we're visiting Crescent Beach, and as you can see, it is currently fenced off and closed. Now, although the main restaurant at Captain Kurt's is open, the Sneaky Tiki here, which is where they have live outdoor music, is still closed. And I didn't even realize this, but there's another Meanies Donuts right across the street, and it looks like that's open as well. So thankfully, we were able to find restrooms and grab coffee in the Crescent Beach area. I think we were both really happy to see not only how many of those businesses were already back open, but also how many people were out supporting them. But now we're heading back to the Turtle Beach area, so we'll show you what the conditions are like there soon.
We have made it back out to the Turtle Beach area. We've only been on the sand for a few minutes, but I'm already starting to feel some bites. I'm guessing there's probably some sand fleas. Now, that is very common for after storms, so we're gonna put on some bug spray and then we're gonna walk south.
So this beach fairly recently underwent a pretty extensive restoration project where they trucked in a bunch of sand. I think we actually talked about that in our last Siesta Key travel guide video. Unfortunately, it does look like the majority of that sand probably has been washed back into the Gulf. There's really no dunes left at all. The beach has definitely seen better days, but there are still quite a few people out here enjoying it today. But if you do decide to come visit, keep in mind there's probably not going to be much in the way of amenities at all for a while, including working restrooms.
This is our first time out here since either of the hurricanes, so we're not sure what the water looked like right after the storms, but it does look like it's starting to clear up, thankfully. There is quite a bit of boat traffic out here today. See 3 out there. We've got several others down that way. When we lived in Sarasota, one of our favorite things to do out here on Turtle Beach was to walk along the beach here all the way to Siesta Key. But after Hurricanes Helene and Milton, you're no longer able to do that, and we'll show you why in a little bit. Now, if you are wanting to visit any of the beaches along Florida's Gulf Coast that were affected by the hurricanes, you'll definitely want to check the water quality and specifically red tide. It is very common for red tide to increase after storms like that because so much waste and chemicals get put into the water that fuel the red tide. I'm not seeing any dead fish out here today, but I do smell a little bit of that red tide smell. And I have heard that there is red tide a few miles out in the Gulf.
Now these condos here to the side of me are maybe 50 feet from the water at the most, and while the second and third floor ones look pretty good, the ground floor ones are in really bad shape. I'm guessing they had several feet of water in them during Helene, and as a result, they're probably gonna have to be almost entirely gutted.
Now there used to be plenty of beach here to walk all the way to Siesta Key, but you might be able to tell already that we're walking in water and we still have 3 hours until it's high tide. It's already going up against these rocks. So unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to walk all the way to the end of Siesta Key like we were hoping to show you Midnight Pass. Now in the 80s, Midnight Pass was closed by man, and recently there have been people advocating to reopen it. And actually you can still see some signs around Siesta Key, like in people's yards, supporting the reopening of Midnight Pass. When Hurricane Helene came through, it opened the pass a little bit, and then when Hurricane Milton came through, it opened it up even wider. There have been a lot of people celebrating this. They actually had a boat parade last week. I think there were over 200 boats that came to drive through the pass. The reason people are celebrating it so much is because it is going to allow water to go from the Gulf in and out of the bay, which should improve the conditions of the bay. Skylar's finding some treasures for me, I think. So we've only been gone for maybe 20-30 minutes, and there are a lot more people on the beach.
So after driving up and down this island a couple of times already now, I would have to say that considering it's been hit by 2 massive hurricanes in the last 5 weeks, and after seeing some footage of the island shortly after the hurricanes, that currently the roads are actually in a little bit better shape than I was expecting them to be. You definitely do still see areas of debris on the sides of the road. We saw plenty of furniture on the side of the road that was likely damaged during Helene, and we also saw plenty of downed tree limbs and branches that were likely damaged during Milton. But overall, you can tell that the cleaning crews are putting in a lot of work. I'm sure that these roads are looking a lot better than they were a few weeks ago. So on our way back to the village, we decided to stop through Siesta Beach to check out what the most popular beach on the island is looking like.
And there are way more cars here than I was expecting. So this beach is definitely open, but we're gonna go find out if the amenities are actually open. And there are plenty of spots available still, but look at all the cars here.
Yeah, this entrance area is actually looking really nice.
But there is a giant pile of sand right next to it.
That's true, just don't look that way, look that way.
Look this way. It's kind of silly though, because we're just gonna be going right out to the beach again.
That's true. That sand is different though, it's way more powdery. This Turtle Beach sand is coarse.
Yeah, Turtle Beach is coarse and it's like more salt and pepper.
And it does not feel good between your toes.
That's true. Siesta sand is different.
It's that squeaky sand.
The kids' play area is definitely open here. Next, we're gonna walk up to see if the snack area and the restrooms are open. Well, they don't have this blocked off, so I think that's a good sign. Oh yeah, the snack area is open for sure.
So I'd say this beach here is actually looking almost as good as it normally does. The vibrance probably hasn't quite returned to the water yet, and the vegetation definitely isn't as thick and green as it normally is, but all things considered, I'd say it's looking really good.
The sand is quite powdery out here. The water here looks very clear. I think there's maybe an hour and a half until high tide still. So you've got this really shallow area and then a little sandbar and then a deeper area. So there's a lot of people hanging out on the sandbar area there. Here you can kind of get a better view of how busy it is out here. Oh, it's nice to see so many people out on the beach. The water here also feels very cool. It's actually quite refreshing.
Yeah, it's what, November 2nd today? And I'd say this water is like the perfect temperature for an 85-degree day. While this probably is the least busy we've ever seen this beach on a sunny Saturday, there are still quite a few people here, and I think we'd gladly spend the majority of the day here as well, but I'm getting thirsty and we got some more places to check out still, so we'll see you back in the village. So we're really happy to see that Gilligan survived both hurricanes and is already back open, because it's been one of our favorite places to watch live music on the island for years now. It also just so happened that a couple of our friends were playing there, so that made it extra enjoyable for us. And when we got there, we also realized they've done some remodeling. They relocated the stage area. We think it flows a lot better now and it looks great. And of course we had to get their wings because we love their blue cheese and we also really love their sweet chili sauce.
So we didn't really need any more coffee today, but we were right next door to Mojo Rising, and it is one of our favorite coffee shops. Now they had a special, it was a butterbeer latte, which we've never seen that before. And this place, they always do a good job of really balancing the coffee flavor and the syrup, so it's never overly sweet. It's really good.
So here on the intersection of Ocean Boulevard and Calle Miramar, the Fudge Factory is definitely closed, but they do have a sign saying coming soon. Over there across the street, the Big Tiki Lounge is definitely open because we do hear some music coming from there. And back there, one of our old favorite spots, Blase Cafe, is open, and so is the pizza place next door.
Across from Gilligan's, Daiquiri Deck is open, and the little strip mall area right next to it looks like Siesta Teas is open and Boulevard Beachwear. Not sure if Flavio's is open. Siesta Key Oyster Bar is definitely open, and they have live music. Flavio's is open. Beach Bazaar is open. The French restaurant across the street is open. It doesn't look like Rip Fire Pizza is open though. Unfortunately, I don't think Olaf's is open.
So on the same intersection as Meanies, the gelato place, the sports bar, and the hub are all open.
Now the lobster pot right next to Meanies is not yet open.
Now, if you're looking for nightlife on Siesta Key, the Beach Club is definitely the place to be. They are back open. They also have a pretty impressive happy hour going. So in our opinion, the best two breakfast spots in Siesta Key can be found right here on Avenida Madera. Unfortunately, it looks like the Village Cafe across the street there is still closed, but we're happy to see that the Sun Garden Cafe is back open. So it looks like the Cottage is also back open. The Siesta Key Summer House is one place that we have yet to visit on Siesta Key, but it does look like they're open too.
So after walking around the village for a while, we did see some spots that haven't reopened yet, but it was nice to see that a majority of the businesses are back up and running, including this next place we're gonna go to, and that's Siesta Key Oyster Bar.
Now, those of you who follow our channel may already know that I love anything pumpkin flavored. I love lattes and I love beer. And here at Siesta Key Oyster Bar, they actually combine the three. They have a pumpkin latte beer, and of course I had to try it. Those are really good.
So this is a crab heart of palm dip. That's the first time we've tried this dip here. It is really good. So that is cheesy and creamy, and I love the texture that the heart of palm adds to the dip.